Good morning or afternoon, I don't know when you're watching this. This is my audition video that includes doing a box drill, explaining how to do a box drill, and explaining how to find a dot. I'm going to explain how to do a box drill. Like said in the name, it's a box, so you march a box. You would first march 8 steps forward, then 8 steps on a left slide, then 8 steps back marching, then 8 steps on the right side. So in the end, you should end up in the same spot that you started. But the thing is, when you take your 8th step, or when you change direction, your 8th step is going to actually be pointing down with your toe. So instead of taking your step normally like you do like this, your 8th step is going to be pointing. So it's going to be like cross 7, cross point, then change. As of your horn, you should, before starting the drill, have it at attention. And then when you take the first step, push 1, you bring it up, and then point close. When you finish, you bring it back down. Make sure to take equally sized steps so you end up in the same exact spot that you started. Also, make sure to keep good posture and to keep your shoulders forward at all times. Here's how I do it. 5, 6, push 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and point. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and point. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and point. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and point. Now, onto reading a drill chart and finding your dot. To first read a drill chart, you have to know what side of the field you're on. Usually we'll be facing the tower, so side 1 would be on the right of the 50-yard line, and side 2 would be on the left of the 50-yard line. Next thing you look for is where you are based on the yard line. I like to say finding your dot is kind of like battleship, and you'll understand in a minute. If it says you're on a yard line, it's easy because you just have to stay right on top of it. If it says a number of steps inside or outside that yard line, you actually have to go to that yard line and count your steps from it. If it says inside the yard line, you obviously count the number of steps from that line towards the 50-yard line, which is the middle of the field. If it says outside, then you count that number of steps towards the outside, or where the field goals would be. For example, let's say it's 4 yards or 4 steps inside the 25-yard line. So you go to the 25-yard line and you take 4 steps towards the 50-yard line. Now, if it says outside, you go to the outside. So if it says 4 steps outside the 25-yard line, then you take 4 steps towards where the field goals would be. If you're looking at the yard line position, you go to the column that says home-visitor. That's where the battleship idea comes in, because in battleship, you always match like the numbers with the letters. So the row with the column. That's basically what you do. There's going to be another point on the field on this next column, and you're going to have to see where those 2 points combine. This one is where you are based on a sideline or a dash. This one's just like the other one. So if you're on a line, all you have to do is get where your first spot and where this line is, and see where they overlap or where they match or combine, and that would be your spot. Now, if it says behind, a number of steps behind or in front of a line, you basically have to do the same. Count from that line according to what it says. So if it says 4 steps behind the sideline, you go to the sideline and you count 4 steps in or behind. Found where those 2 spots that you had, the yard line position and the sideline or dash position, overlap, that's your spot. Now remember that your spot is usually supposed to fit in a form. So if you're standing at your exact spot and you still don't fit the form, you could adjust a little bit to make sure you fit the form, because that's the point of the spot. That concludes my audition video. Thank you so much for watching, and I really, really hope you consider me a section leader. Bye!